Word of his passing initially circulated through unofficial channels before being confirmed by established media. The end came quietly, almost forgotten, mirroring how Kilmer had chosen to live during the final decade of his life. This quiet, however, was quickly disrupted when his children Jack and Mercedes, alongside other relatives, visited his residence and began to observe peculiar elements, details so meticulous they couldn't be coincidental. These discoveries led them to an inevitable question: had Val Kilmer been concealing something throughout his final years? The modest adobe dwelling, situated on over 160 acres in Santa Fe, surrounded by thick woodland and nearly completely isolated, was where Kilmer retreated after selling most of his estate in 2011. The property had transformed into a confidential location, untouched and unnoticed. When relatives arrived, they discovered the dwelling appeared sealed off from the modern world: no internet, no wireless devices, no cellular connectivity. All exterior surveillance cameras functioned independently, recording directly onto separate storage units. Inside, there was no network equipment, electrical outlets were shielded, and several rooms used mechanical locks instead of electronic ones. Everything was configured as if Kilmer had deliberately severed all connection with the outside world. One room in the residence was secured from within, reinforced with a substantial wooden beam and blocked by a filing cabinet. When relatives forced it open, they found a compact chamber containing only a desk, 2 bookshelves, an outdated laptop, and a secured metal container. On the desk lay a handwritten message with a cryptic statement: "They will arrive if I am absent. Locate the appropriate individual before time expires." Inside the metal container, they discovered an external hard drive, a vintage voice recorder, 3 unmarked memory cards, a phone without a SIM card, and scattered printouts with typed notes. Among them, a line stated, "Insufficient evidence to provide. LR still maintains access." The folder on the desk contained handwritten entries, screenplay drafts, character outlines, and incomplete creative works. Some sections had been crossed out in red ink with annotations like "Revised," "Eliminate reference to LR," or "Do not distribute without conclusive review." A board displayed a timeline of events, notes on terminated projects, unsuccessful meetings. While reviewing legal documents, the family discovered 2 different wills. One from 2014, officially certified, specified that all assets should be equally distributed between Jack and Mercedes. The other was a handwritten note without date or witnesses: "I, Val Edward Kilmer, leave all unpublished materials, image and voice privileges, and any assets related to creative work to LR. No one else is authorized to access, modify, or reproduce without this person's consent." There was no information about who LR might be, no contact details, no identification. This abbreviation had never appeared in any public document, financial report, or professional record associated with Kilmer. Mercedes later recalled meeting an unidentified middle-aged man at her father's house years earlier. When she asked about him, Kilmer simply said, "A friend helping me finish a few things." A private detective discovered electronic messages on a backup system in which Kilmer had corresponded with an anonymous address. One notable excerpt read, "I'm surrendering it only because there's no other option. Trust is a luxury. Sometimes preserving the original is the only way to endure if they return." Another handwritten note stated, "LR used to be insurance. Now I'm not so certain." Followed by, "Don't give anything else until double verification." Days after Kilmer's memorial service, Jack received a message from his father's deactivated phone number: "Don't let them take it." The carrier confirmed the message could not be traced. Simultaneously, an AI company that had previously recreated Kilmer's voice reported receiving a request to reactivate his voice model. The request was sent through secure channels with internal authentication codes and originated from Santa Fe at precisely the same moment Jack received the mysterious text. The most revealing discovery was a video file buried deep within the external drive. In this 6-minute recording, Kilmer stated, "If this is the last thing I leave behind, then I must make it clear, I did not sign any contracts after last August. Any recordings, voice clips, or products released under my name after that point are not authorized. He then mentioned LR directly. I used to think he could keep things safe, but I was wrong. If my kids find this video, do not sign anything. Do not agree to licensing. They will use my name, but not for me. Near the end of the video, Kilmer confessed, I didn't leave work because I was exhausted. I left because I no longer believed I had control over anything. If there's one thing I can still control, it's this recording. The video showed signs of interference in its final seconds, though analysts confirmed it was authentic and recorded approximately 2 weeks before his death. Kilmer's creative legacy, his image, voice, and original materials, remains frozen under legal dispute between his family and an unidentified third party. The evidence suggests he hadn't simply chosen a secluded lifestyle but had been operating a silent, resilient defense system. He appeared to have once held sensitive information, possibly related to the film industry or influential figures, and his retreat from public life may have been a strategy to maintain control over what remained. The mystery continues to deepen. Was this the defensive act of an artist who understood too well the industry he once belonged to, or a warning meant for all of us about the future of digital identity and creative ownership? As we await further developments, one thing remains clear: Val Kilmer feared the misuse of his creative legacy and took extraordinary measures to protect it, even beyond death. What do you think about what was found in Val Kilmer's legacy?